Alright guys, let's talk through what all is wrong with the bike after the crash. Alright, so let's start at the front. You can see front tire actually looks like did not touch the ground at all. The front axle sliders unscratched. Everything's clean here. Fender is fine. Nothing got on there. Moving up. Obviously there's a wing over there. That's this piece here, which I'm hoping I can just put this or get a new wing and slide it in there, but it seems like some of the pieces broke off, but I think this is all supposed to be one piece, so we'll see about that. Good news, headlight fine. I think, and I'll mention this for the other things that are kind of broken, but this slider did everything. This slider kept everything off the ground, so I think that's the reason why this front wheel did not touch the ground, while my headlight is okay. I guess probably the next thing to look at would be, see, my clip-on is broken. And so I think that's why this part touched the ground, because when this broke, the top of it was probably able to hit the ground, but this was probably sticking up in the air. Obviously lost the front fairing here. This is some sticky tape, by the way, or sticky 3M. This is where I normally put my camera, but I didn't have it on during the crash. Lost my windscreen, but thankfully none of this got damaged. All of this is fine. We do have a rock in there for us. There's rocks everywhere in here. Yeah, so, and then this fairing down here, it's just dirty right now. It probably obviously is scratched up, but I think it's still usable. Moving over, you can see the engine cover, or the stator cover here, was not scratched, did not get touched. Like I said, this slider took everything. And I'm hoping that this, you can see the way this slider is set up, it's not actually on the frame here, it's on the frame on 2 bolts behind this fairing, and then it just attaches here. So I'm hoping I can just take this this piece off and just get a new one of these maybe, but this might be bent, so I don't know if that's a good idea or not, but I'm hoping that'll be easy. And thankfully the engine looks like it did not touch the ground. We just got a bunch of rocks in there. There was no fluids leaking when I was on the ground, so thankfully I think the engine's okay. I tried to start it after, but it didn't start, but I think that might be due to all the rocks in there. We got a whole little pond of rocks. At first I was worried when I saw this clip-on being broken like this. Obviously it'll be one of these. My grip is a little messed up. I was worried about this because I was like, this looks expensive, but turn the bike on, and thankfully everything is still good there. You can see, because you use this to drive everything, and it still works. So we're good on these pieces. Turn signals still work, which is good. Let's see if I got a horn. Oh, yeah, we do. Traction control, up, down, still works. We got lucky with this. I think I looked it up. This piece right here is $400. This traction control piece is another $100. So obviously I lost this piece right here that does the really up, down, the piece, but it still actually works. It's just not pretty. So that's fine with me, I don't care. As long as it works. My clutch cable and everything, all those cables still intact, all good there. And like I said, my screen is fine. Just got rocks in there, so that's all good. So it looks like we'll just need a new clip-on and new grips and end bar, and I might get some new levers. Yeah, so this part is pretty ugly. This tank is actually made out of plastic, and you can see it scraped the ground, but So I would say like functionally, it's not, there's no issue with it. Like I could ride again with it like this, but obviously it's pretty ugly. So I'm thinking if I do decide to change the fairings to go race fairings, obviously I'll just put a tank cover on there, or I might just do carbon tank cover and then just replace this fairing here. But I'm gonna do a separate video about how much I think all of this is gonna cost to fix. My gear shifter, it looks like it's okay. You know, it's still, I was able to shift into neutral, but it felt a little rough, but it might have felt rough because there's rocks everywhere. So we'll see if this is fine. It doesn't look like it touched the ground except maybe right here. There's a little piece of it that's kind of shaved off, but kickstand is okay. It just lost a little edge here, but it works. This is fine. Heel guard, fine, scratched up. We got this under panel right here. We just got rocks everywhere in there. Same here, we just got rocks here. Obviously we scratched up the side. So this would probably need a new piece, or they do make tail sliders. I don't know how long it is, but I mean, that would have been good to have right here. My tail light itself looks like it got scratched on the end. And then this piece here, I think this is broke. Some stuff I can see, like, I think the rocks just popped it out. So like you can see like this here, if I just pop that back in, like maybe that'll go back, no problem. But I'm not exactly sure, so I'll start taking it off. This, only reason why I didn't lose this is because I got zip ties on it. This thing falls off in stock form, no crash. So honestly, it's a piece of shit, but you know, it makes the bike look nice. So I don't know what parts I'm gonna have to replace there. I'm hoping it's just this part and not like this and this, because I can see this is broken off in here. I don't know if y'all can see. As far as my carbon, it's pretty dirty. Looks like it got a crack here, but this is only on the heel. I mean, I'm sorry, the chain guard. So maybe this part is okay once I clean it off. Moving down, this is something else that really saved the bike. These are the stock spools. That's obviously pretty bent, but I think, I mean, that took a lot of damage. And then these, I think they're called Valmoto sliders. I'll have to get the exact name, but this took a lot of damage too. So it looks like this didn't actually, none of this actually touched the ground. So, and my swing arm, I don't think it actually touched the ground either. It's just when it flew through the rocks probably scratched it as it was going. But hopefully I can clean this and then just buff it, and it might get some of those rocks off or scrapes off. But yeah, and then you can see tire. I'm not sure how that works with going down. Like, is my tire messed up now because of that? I don't know. I mean, it looks fine. You can see, obviously I used every single piece of it. I got down to to the edge. So all those people talking about chicken strips, where? But yeah, man. So that's this side of the bike. Thankfully, this bike did not flip, and thankfully, you know, I didn't break the headlight or anything. I think I might have to get new ducts, but I'm thinking there's rocks in there. I think that's why it's not starting. It's probably trying to pull in some rocks. But the great news is, look at this side. It's perfect on this side. Like nothing happened. So, how would y'all approach fixing this? Because on one hand, I could go race fairings, but that would be more expensive, and I'd be changing the right side for no reason when it really doesn't need it right now. So I'm trying to decide, do I care about how it looks, or do I just want to get back on the road? And I'm leaning towards just getting back on the track and just getting whatever pieces I need for that. But yeah, man, she held up pretty well, and I'll have another video about my gear and how that held up. So yeah, so we'll start this journey on getting back to the track, man. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Talk to y'all next time. See ya.